This is High Performance Pilot, a show dedicated to improving our performance as pilots. I'll be using the Core Competency Matrix and the behaviours contained within it, the skills, the knowledge and the attitudes. Today I'm taking a look at communication, the link between leadership and teamwork and the rest of the matrix. I'll be focusing on conveys messages and information clearly, accurately and in a timely manner. So what is it? I think we should consider the terms clearly, accurately and timely to be workload management tools. So let's break them down to understand what this behaviour is. First, clearly. Clear communication involves using language, tone and context to ensure the recipient of the message understands it without ambiguity. Remember, this is not just the spoken word, it applies to written and other non-verbal communications. Second, accurately. Accuracy in conveying messages means the recipient receives information that is factually correct, that they can trust the contents of the message and that nothing essential has been omitted. Finally, timely. Information may be important, but if it is delivered at the wrong time, it might be counterproductive. Relevant information should reach the right people at the right time. Here's why we need it. Conveys messages and information clearly, accurately and in a timely manner is a behaviour that plays a crucial role in ensuring that information flow actually increases safety. I'll start with conveying messages clearly. Communication during aviation operations invariably involves information, directions and requests that are safety critical. It's important that our communications are unambiguous, that the receiver is left in no doubt what we mean. In our industry, there is no room for misunderstandings. This is all the more important because our environment presents challenges. Language, culture, environmental barriers and distractions all require our communications to have clarity. We must ensure we are clear so that our messages do not adversely affect workload. Say it clearly, say it once. Next, conveying messages accurately. Our information, directions and requests are safety critical, so need to be accurate. We use information in the decision-making process. If it is not accurate, then our decisions and actions will not be valid and will need to be reversed or modified. This is going to increase workload and ultimately threaten situational awareness. And now, timely. Communication will add to workload as it has to be processed. That is, sorted for relevance and then either acted on or not. At one end of the spectrum, we have critical information that affects safety. This needs to be communicated immediately. At the other end, we have non-urgent, nice-to-know information that can wait. Our task is to understand the importance of our message, what its impact on workload will be, and then find the right time to communicate it. And now it's time for the all-important how we achieve proficiency. When I'm communicating, I have a simple mantra in the front of my mind. Communicate the most amount of information in the least amount of words. If I can do this, I am generally achieving the goal of communicating clearly. It takes practice, but once you think like this, the clarity will naturally occur. Consider your communication delivery. Speak at an appropriate rate and volume as circumstances and the environment dictate. Be mindful not to use colloquialisms, slang and acronyms. When transmitting on the radio, use standard phraseology. Don't make assumptions. If you are in any doubt about what you are communicating, check it before you begin. incorrect information is worse than no information. Assess your own communications. Imagine yourself on the receiving end of your message. Have you been clear? Have you been unambiguous? Finally, understand the level of situational awareness of your colleague or crew and decide whether it is the right time to communicate. And now onto the threats. Effective operation requires us to understand the potential threats and errors and so allow us to avoid or mitigate them. Here are some of the consequences of a lack of proficiency in conveying messages and information clearly, accurately and in a timely manner. Misunderstandings. Ambiguous or unclear communications can lead to misunderstandings between crew members, air traffic controllers and ground personnel. Communication breakdowns. Any breakdown in communication can have severe repercussions. Delays, missed instructions or lost information can disrupt operations and compromise safety. Loss of situational awareness. Inadequate communication can cause reduced or loss of situational awareness with the resultant reduction in safety. Increased workload. Poor communication leads to an increased workload as we spend time clarifying messages or correcting errors. For today's example, I'm going to use the arrival and approach briefing. Now there's a whole episode to be completed on how the core competencies link together to produce an effective briefing, but for now I'll concentrate on today's behaviour. Let's start with timely. Briefing will add to workload and if not conducted correctly will cause a distraction. Therefore choose a time of low workload and one early enough that you don't get distracted during the descent. Next, accuracy. Ensure you have up-to-date, accurate information to bring to the briefing, which includes weather, NOTAMs, chart revisions, aircraft status. Finally, being clear. It is all too easy to use the briefing as an information dump, just stating facts and figures that can easily be cross-checked independently. An effective briefing is one that concentrates on how we are going to operate the aircraft and avoid the threats. For added clarity, focus on differences from the normal operation. Stick to these principles and your briefings should be clear. Key takeaways. The words clearly, accurately and timely should be considered as workload management tools. Say as much as you can in as few words as possible. Language, culture, environment and distractions are all barriers to communication. Lack of proficiency can result in poor workload management and decreased situational awareness. So there you have it. Conveys messages and information clearly, accurately and in a timely manner. A behaviour from the competency communication. I hope you found it useful, that you've heard something you can put into practice the next time you operate. If you've enjoyed this episode of High Performance Pilot, please like it and share it, and most importantly, click the link to subscribe. High Performance Pilot has an ultimate aim to stimulate interest in the core competencies and inspire you to seek them out and apply them to further improve your effectiveness as a pilot. If you wish to contribute or ask a question, please email me at highperformancepilot@gmail.com.